Hi, it's Lee from Colouring Queen, and today I thought I'd show you some happy mail I received probably about a month ago now, and I thought we'd have a colouring chat and a bit of a catch up, and I was going to colour this mandala over here that I've already printed out. So first of all, I'll show you the happy mail, which was so unexpected. It was just so nice. One of the ladies in my colouring group, just making sure I'm on camera here, sent me this beautiful bunny rabbit pendant, and what it is ceramic and it's been glazed. I actually used to do ceramics, so I admire them painting onto such a little space, and everyone knows I love bunny rabbits, so it was just so beautiful and so unexpected. And you know what I really love about it? On the back there is "This is Only the Beginning" by Peter Rabbit. I think the day that I received this, we were having such a terrible time, and then I read that inscription on the back and it was just so lovely. So thank you so much for that. Now the lady that makes it is actually at one of these artist colonies, and it's Judy Isaac at the Tannery Row Artist Colony. So I'll leave her details below in case anyone was interested in her beautiful ceramics. And she also sent me a gorgeous note, which I put all of these up on my corkboard, so that will be going up there, which is gorgeous. And look at the little birds in there. And she also sent me, we were talking about nails, and as most people know, I go a la natural. I've really only ever had one manicure in my life when I was bridesmaid for a friend, and it was a French manicure. So she sent me over these sticker nails, which I've never used before, but they're a French manicure one. Because whenever I do paint my nails, I go, oh no, that's just too bright, and then I take the nail polish off. I do paint my toenails, so I don't know why that's fine, but anyway, with my hand nails, I just prefer like a French manicure. So she sent me these to try out. I haven't tried them yet because I've been doing stuff in the garden and I don't want to ruin them. So watch out, soon, once I finish gardening, you'll see me with some of these little French manicure nails on. So we'll see how that goes. I hope you don't need a degree to work these. I'm sure they'll be fine though. Someone will tell me if I'm doing it wrong. So wasn't that super sweet? So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I love getting notes and cards in the mail. It's just really lovely. I always put them up on my corkboard so that I can see them and, you know, just know that they're there. So today I thought we'd have a bit of a catch up, and I thought I'd colour in this Grayscale mandala. Now, I've got a bit of a new setup with my desk because Her Highness Millie has taken over my office, haven't you, Mill? She's in her little colouring cave at the moment, and I've got hardly any room left, have I, Millie? Yeah, between you and Charlie, my little dog, under my desk, don't have a lot of room in here for me anymore. So I've had to change things around a bit. So I've picked out the colours for this. It's going to do some pink flowers, then maybe a blue background and then green leaves. We'll see how we go. So this is a Grayscale mandala, and I think mandalas are just so relaxing when you're stressed out. I don't know, do you guys feel the same? I find them very calming when I'm stressed, and I've certainly been stressed the last year or so. So I don't know how this blend is going to work. Let's just try something new and see how it goes. So at the moment, I'm working a lot in my garden. I had no idea that I would like gardening so much, but I never have in the past. It must just be that, you know, now we've moved to Queensland and we've got the bigger house and whatnot, because I've never really been interested in the past, and My stepfather being a farmer, he was always really good at gardening, and I do wish I'd paid a little bit more attention now, because all the things I could have asked him, now I can't, now that he's gone, but I'm just muddling through. I've got no idea what I'm doing, but, you know, muddle away. So I printed this out on quill paper, but it seems to want more than one layer. So I thought this grayscale might be interesting because it's got the extra shading on it for the mandalas. So you can see it around there and around there. So we'll see how it goes. I've never tried a grayscale mandala before, so I was keen to try, but you know, now that I'm getting into it, I don't know. I'm finding it, I don't know, as much work as like a normal picture. I think maybe if it had markers on it, it might be a little faster. I'm not sure. Maybe I should have tried it with markers. So what's everyone else up to today? I've been doing the washing, which never seems to end. I don't know about you guys, but I wash every day. I don't know how I'm going to keep that up when I've got a full-time job. Because my last job, I only worked like 3 12-hour days, but if I get a full-time job, it'll be like 9 to 5, and I don't know, I'll have to get up at the crack of dawn to do the washing. I think with pets you get extra washing, and David uses up more towels than anyone I know. I don't know, I've tried to train him out of the towels. I've even brought the big guns in, like his mother, to tell him not to use so many towels, but it's not going to happen. And I mean, bearing in mind he's got so many other good qualities, I can't really complain about one thing. And yes, I know what you're thinking, that he could do the washing. So there's a reason that I don't let him near the washing machine, and that's because until I met him I had one washing machine. So we've been together 20 years now, and I've had 7 washing machines, because whenever he uses the washing machine, which he's not allowed to do unsupervised, he overloads it and it breaks and all the rest of it. So long story short, after 7 washing machines, I've banned him from using it. And it's not his way of getting out of chores, you know, he does heaps around. It's just he's not allowed to use the washing machine anymore. It's just too expensive replacing them, and I just can't afford to replace another washing machine. But he seems to think, you know, that you can fit everything into a washing machine, and you just can't. But he's an optimist. So we had our 20th anniversary the other day. Now, we didn't do anything like that because, you know, we've been going through a very difficult time for the last year. It's been certainly very difficult, you know, moving, renovating 2 houses, and then of course the day before we moved, you know, David's father was diagnosed with esophagus cancer, which we thought he would, you know, come through, but unfortunately that wasn't to be. But between moving between Brisbane and Sydney, and then we moved back to Sydney late last year to be with David's father, our finances are just abysmal. And, you know, we thought that David would have a job up here, because that was kind of the idea. His company is up here as well. And so even though it was going to be hard for me to get a job, it would be easy for him. And, you know, he got a couple of weeks' work when we moved up here. And then there was just like nothing. And they kept saying, next week, you know, next week, next week. And so that's gone on for 8 months now. So it's been, yeah, pretty tough. About 6 weeks ago, he hadn't had any work for like 6 weeks. I hadn't had any work, and even though I'm looking, nothing is coming up that meets my qualifications. Well, I'll correct that in a minute, but yeah, so he's only had like a day or 2 days a week work, so there was no way we were going out to celebrate the anniversary because we've just got, you know, other priorities, especially, you know, when he hasn't had work and then it comes on and you get a day or two and whatnot. So, but you know, on a positive note, and I always try and look at the positive side of these things, it has made us, you know, even more stronger. We thought that been through our hard times, but you know, life is full of obstacles, and you know, we've got through it without killing each other. More to the point, our pets are loved and looked after, and you know, we've got that, and so, and we're always optimists that, you know, things will work out for the best. And you know, it's been good because both Millie and Charlie, my little pussycat, and my puppy dog, they're both really codependent. They love it that I'm home with them, and Millie cries if I leave her. She's like, being a cat, she doesn't want to be with you, but she also doesn't want you to leave her. So she'll cry if I just go downstairs to do the washing, and she'll be up here crying her eyes out, waiting for me to come back so she can ignore me, which is what cats do. And Charlie just loves to, you know, follow you around because he's, you know, the most beautiful little puppy dog, you know. And he is a senior, he's not a puppy, but he acts like a little puppy. And he's loved having both of us around here. But I've got to say, you know, David's a bit of a disruptive influence when he's home, and when he's only working a day a week or 2 days a week. He's either always hammering on something or making some sort of noise so I can't video. You know, so he disrupts my day. I've got like a real routine base, you know, and yeah, so, but it's great when he's home. It's just that if only someone could pay us money to be at home, that would be even better, but you can't have everything. And, you know, we're always positive that things will work out, so it's not a pity party here. You know, we've been through hard times. This is probably our hardest time because we're both unemployed, or we both don't really have anything much at the moment, so, and, you know, we're in a new city where we don't know anyone and all the rest of it, but, you know, we'll come through this just like we have all the other times, you know, 20 years, so there's always going to be ups and downs, and this is just one of those things that will pass. So I banned him from doing anything anniversary-wise because we just really have other priorities, but he did give me a lovely card, which was super sweet. The other great thing about being at home is that I've been able to spend, someone on the street's being very noisy, I've been able to spend quite a bit of time catching up on articles, etc. for my blog, because when I first started my blog back in 2016, I think, or something like that, I did a big batch upload. I did like 150 videos at once, which I wish I hadn't because they were all horrible. And I batch uploaded them all to YouTube so that they would all post out, etc. And then I got really sick, and I was basically sick for the rest of the year. And it took me most of 2017 to recover. I still wasn't really well, and to be honest, I've never really recovered. But it took me all of, you know, that year to recover. But in the meantime, all this stuff was, you know, sort of posting out. But I had this whole list of things that I wanted to do, you know, articles that I wanted to write and things that I wanted to do, and you know, this great big wish list, and instead, you know, I was lying sick for over a year, so it never got done. And I like things to be done, so I've going slowly through it and trying to tick off the things and get them done. I wish I could take down the 150 videos, but they've been up there that long, I kind of need them to stay. But I really don't like them. But, so you'll probably see all these random articles and you'll think, oh, you know, why is she bothering to post that? Someone else has already posted about it or whatnot. But it's just to get it off my list and to feel that I've done the things that I originally planned to do back in 2016, and obviously I'll add to that over time as things change. But yeah, it's funny how, you know, life turns out like that. You know, you have all these good intentions and then they just don't work. But you got to roll with these punches. And so I've been catching up on that, and I've also been trying to improve my memory, because I think, you know, the old menopause and everything else is just hitting my memory like a ton of bricks. So hopefully, you know, what I'm doing, the exercises that I'm doing are working, and to be honest, I feel like I've got more clarity, but that could just be a false reading there, but we'll see. And of course, I've been doing a lot in my garden. So I had my first snowflakes come up the other day. They're like bulbs. They've got like a little white flower on them. I did expect them to come up in spring, and seeing it's winter here, I was surprised that they were coming up so early, but I'm pleased to see them, don't get me wrong. I just thought it'd be, you know, longer until I seen them, but anyway, they're so pretty and cute. And the funny thing is, I don't know if this is normal with all plants, but these are the plants that I gave the least attention to, because there's a separate gate that I've got to go through to get to them. They're not planted with all the other plants that I planted. And so you can never be bothered dragging the hose, you know, through the separate gate to you know, to water them that much. So I don't know, I think they've just survived, and only on the occasional water from me, and they're the first ones to flower, so maybe neglect is part of what I'm meant to be doing. Maybe I'm over-loving the other ones, so I don't know. Anyway, they're all looking lovely, but they do need to be transplanted into a planter box. And David has promised me that he would build me this planter box. We got some corrugated iron scrap from a lady up the road, and we've got some scraps of timber and stuff that we're just going to make like a raised garden bed out of, or two hopefully. And yeah, he's been promising me since Easter, since the Easter weekend, that he'll put my planter box together for me. I have started threatening him, you know, that I'll just go down to his tool shed and figure it out and grab some tools and work it out myself. Because I have built things before. I've built bookshelves and cupboards and stuff, but I don't know how to cut up the corrugated iron, but I'm sure there's a video on that. And I'm sure he's got a tool down there that I could use to cut up the corrugated iron to the sheets that I want. So if this planter box is not coming soon, I might have to take some action. But he has been really busy, so as well as, you know, the occasional work. And the thing is that he never knows if he's going to be working and until like the night before, so you can't make any plans or to do anything, because you're kind of just waiting for the phone to ring, which is so a 15-year-old girl. And you know, when he's home, I'm always like, have they rang yet? Have they rang? And it's, yeah, So it's not fun. So, yeah, he's been amusing himself around the house. So we're still renovating, but obviously we couldn't do, what we wanted to do because we had to waste our money on stupid things like food. And use the renovating money for that instead. So, and David, just loves to redo stuff. So I think I told you last time the stuff that the tradesman had done, David felt it wasn't up to standard, so he's taken it down and redone it and all the rest of it. So long story short, I think for the first time this year I'm nearly about to get a lounge room and a dining room. So we've had no lounge room or dining room since we've been here. David took all the wall lining off the walls, and well, first of all, we weren't going to do this, but then he decided that he would midway, just when you think that you're at the end of the finishing line, he sort of starts again, and he took off even new gyprock or plasterboard or whatever you call it in your country, and put insulation behind all the walls. And then he, of course, had to put the gyprock back. And then he, what else did he do? Did something. He took some of the outside timber cladding off as well. And, he was poking insulation in wherever he could. And so then, he's been re-gyprocking everything and replastering it and resetting it and all the rest of it. And now he tells me that it should be painted this weekend, so I will be able to move the couch in and the dining table and all of the rest of it, because it's been like a campsite here. So I am really looking forward to having that, because we've got the kitchen, and it's like a kitchen, dining room, lounge room. It's only very small, but once that goes in, I feel like it's like a normal house. So, because we've got the bathroom done, we've got the kitchen done, and then the only things to be done really are bedrooms need painting. So hopefully the lounge room will be done, lounge dining will be done this weekend, and I can put the couch in and colour at the dining table, and it's just going to be nice, very nice, because at the moment it's kind of weird. You go out to the kitchen and then it's just like a construction zone of plastic, and I keep joking it looks like a scene from Dexter because all the sides have got plastic on them. And David's always trying to get the pets out of his area so that they don't trample plaster dust and whatnot throughout the house. I think that you call it drywall in America, the gyprock. But yeah, so, and Millie loves to get in. She can find her way in anywhere, so she loves to get behind the plastic and see what's going on. Curiosity with cats. But I've been promising her that she can sit on the couch and look out the windows. So I'm going to have one happy cat when we get that lounge room painted, because I'm sure, because she loves to get in behind the plastic and look out the windows now anyway, so I'm sure she's going to just love sitting up there during the day, and maybe I'll even get some of my colouring cave back. She might like it there so much. She might give me a bit more desk room. At the moment, you might hear her or Charlie. They're both sound asleep. One's at my feet and one's on my desk, just sleeping away. It's certainly an animal's life, isn't it? They don't have any of the worries or anything that we have, and they just know that they're going to be loved and looked after and cuddled and petted. Yeah, so the reason that I can't find a job is because I've wiped out the sort of whole of the Brisbane CBD, because I can't go into the city because I'm basically allergic to pollution. So today has been quite hard for me because there's been a fire overnight in a paint factory in Brisbane, and all the fumes, even though they're nowhere near us, they're all settling in and flowing in this direction. So even at 6:30 this morning, all I could smell was this toxicity and the fire. So I've had to basically spend most of the day inside. So because pollution affects me so badly, I have bad asthma attacks and whatnot. I really can't work in the city anymore. When I was in Sydney, the last part of my work, I was just getting Ubers to work so that I didn't have to get the bus and public transport anymore. And I worked just on the outskirts of the city anyway, but it was still a really highly polluted area. So I can't sort of risk it because I really get sick from it. So once you wipe out, like for the work that I do, the CBD of a place, you're really not left with much for the work that, I'm qualified to do. So finding it super difficult. And then when you take into account that David takes the car and we've only got one car and there's not a lot of transport options around, it just makes it even harder. So I know I'll find something, but to be honest, I'm enjoying being home with Millie and Charlie, and I'm getting through my list of things, and I'm enjoying gardening and cooking and, all of those things that I haven't been able to do for a long time. Before I got sick, I used to work revolting hours, 60, 80 hours a week, and for most of my life, I've had 2 jobs as well. It's kind of a little bit relaxing. And the funny thing is, the year before I got sick, we'd actually come on holiday up this way in Queensland, and I'd said to David, I want to take the whole year and sort of have what we called the summer of me, just like George from Seinfeld. And, I was just going to, plan to concentrate on getting my health and, fitness back together, and because I'd just been work, and, no one ever cares, that you work your guts out, honestly. And so I just wanted to feel normal again, and then of course I got sick and could never do that, which is just bizarre, but I guess that's the way life works. So hopefully, while I've got this opportunity of being unemployed, I'll be able to do what I wanted to do those couple of years ago and do the things for Colouring Queen that I had in mind, and also do the things for my own health and sanity in mind as well. So there's always a silver lining. Sometimes you just have to look a little bit harder for it, but it'll work out, and a sort of firm believer in that it will. So there's always someone, worse off and whatnot, that needs help or needs some sort of assistance in life. And we don't need help. We will, like cockroaches, we'll survive. We'll work it out. I mean, it was a bit hairy there for a little while, but I was about to look up, 500 things that you can do with Vegemite, because, it was a little bit scary, rough and stuff, a month or so ago, but, you get through it. And the great thing about my garden is that, it's just so nice seeing that new life and seeing it grow, and I've got so many vegetables in there, and I've got some more seeds to plant that they're meant to be planted in spring, but I think I might plant them early because the weather up here is just so mild that I think, maybe they might grow. I don't know. I wish I knew more about gardening. But I guess it's like most things, you know, you'll make some mistakes. People will give you some advice and you'll make mistakes and you'll learn from it, and, you know, then you'll develop your own plants and things that you like to grow, and I don't mind them. I don't think I'll get this finished today, and I don't know if anyone else has this or if it's just me, but I hate filming when David is here, and I'm worried he'll come home soon. And he's like, what's it matter? I hear you talk all the time. And it's like, I don't know. I just feel very self-conscious if he's here and he'll hear me talk. I don't know if anyone else is like that, because no one really likes the sound of their own voice, do they? I mean, most people, when they hear themselves back on a recording, are always, no, I don't sound like that, or whatnot. I've still got sinus at the moment, so you'll hear my voice is a bit croaky or snuffles. But I don't know if anyone really likes their voice. Even on the old answering machines, I didn't like my voice, but I really can't stand it if he's here and I want to film. And it's just like, no, I'll just wait and I'll wait and I'll wait. So sometimes you'll see less videos from me when David is at home and he's not got any work, because I hate it. I really hate filming in front of him, or, you know, where he can hear. And if I send him outside, then he tends to make so much noise that you can hear it all in the videos. So it's kind of a no-win. I don't know. Because I do, you know, try very hard to make the audio on my videos. I try and block out noise from outside, which is a little bit difficult because at both places that we've lived, we're quite close to a school and a park. So there's all the kids coming home from school, there's the school bells, there's the parents that are collecting the kids in cars and whatnot. You know, there's the kids playing in the park and everything, so you can hear it all travels through, as well as, you know, general neighbours and the noise that you're making in your own home. So I try very hard, but yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. And you can't control what people are going to say on the street or whatnot, so you get all these different noises filtering through. But I do try hard to sort of eliminate them, but not always successfully. But yeah, I don't want him to be one of the noises as well. He was going to film, I was going to film yesterday, but he was home and he wanted to mow the lawn, which, you know, again, that would be more noise. That's a weird thing, you know, we're just still getting used to this whole lawn mowing business. And we, you know, this is the first time we've had to mow lawns and all the rest of it. So it's kind of funny because the lawn at the front doesn't really need mowing at the moment. It's not very high, and last time I think we mowed it and we cut it too short and it didn't look very good, to be honest. It was a buzz cut bad. But, you know, like they say, most haircuts look good 2 weeks later, and the lawn looked better. But the lawn at the front doesn't seem to need mowing, but the lawn at the back is really, really high. And it definitely needs mowing. So it's funny. And the lawn on the side, on the nature strip, which is, you know, a general walkway, we're on the corner, and there's lawn on the side and out the front. It looked fine. It looks like it could go another week or two, to be honest, without mowing. So it's just weird that some of the lawn is fine and some of it just grows differently. But it looks like it's different grass as well. The grass at the back looks a lot greener and a different style of grass than the grass on the side, so I suspect it's two different varieties, and one is slower growing and one is faster growing or something like that. I have to figure it out, but the one at the back looks a lot brighter green and it looks really nice. I wouldn't mind it on the front as well because it looks very lush. But, I think I got my pencils out of order on that one because I was busy chatting and then I forgot what I was doing, which is the way. So what are you guys doing today? You crafting, you colouring, cooking, gardening? I need to get my gardening done so I can put those lovely nails on that I was so kindly sent. I can't believe it, just always surprises me that people will send me something. It just seems, it's just so bizarre that there's people out there that will actually think of you and think, oh, you might like those, and they'll actually trouble themselves to send something to you. It's just so lovely. You know, it restores your faith in humanity. I think what have I done? I think I was, just going to have to own that one and learn to live with that one. But yeah, some of my little seedlings need to be thinned out, so I need to put them into pots, or because the planter box hasn't made its appearance yet, I'm going to have to put them into little pots and stuff and thin them out. They're cornflowers and they come up. They're huge, the leaves on them. They're like giant cabbages. I'm so excited about all these flowers and things like that. It's just, yeah, be like living in a florist shop, and every time I go out and I look at all my flowers in the pots and stuff, and I think, have I got enough flowers? Like, you know, I've probably got, I don't know, hundreds of seeds planted, but, you know, have I really got enough flowers is the question. Because I'm not sure, like, when they bloom, like, how much room they'll take up and how many flowers you get off each flower seed. So all this is new to me. I know some of you are probably sitting there laughing, going, you're kidding. But I have no idea, like, is it one flower per seed, or do you get more, or I have no idea. So I keep looking at all the flowers thinking, will I have enough flowers so that, you know, Millie and I can look out the window and we'll just see beautiful flowers, and that they'll, you know, will they last long enough so that I can, you know, have vases of flowers and give some to the, we've got a couple over the road, older couple, and they're just so nice. So I'd like to be able to give, you know, some of the people that have been really nice to us around here some flowers, or, but I'm not sure, like, how many you get. So I'm probably going to end up overplanting, because it's kind of what I normally do, is just overdo things, because I'd hate to, you know, miss out. So not FOMO, but fear of flower missing out, whatever that might be. So I'll probably end up planting some more seedlings, little seeds, and see how they go. I was worried when I bought those seeds because they were only $1 a packet and they didn't have the picture or anything on them. I bought them online because they were cheap. And the plants are growing really well, so I feel like I got totally ripped off paying $1.50 a packet at the hardware shop or the garden shop for the seeds in the past. Because the ones that I've got online are really, they're growing really well. They look fabulous. So I'm no expert, obviously, but they look good to me. and for $1, can't go wrong. So we were watching that Fire movie the other night. Just that was interesting. I'm glad I watched it. I've had it on the watch list for a while now. It's all about that festival that they organised in the US with a lot of Instagram influencers, which apparently is a job now according to the Daily Mail, and which they recommended. And of course this event was just a complete disaster. It looks like from the Fire movie that they just had all of these people basically, but no one's really running this event. Like, no one was, thinking of the things that people needed and whatnot. It just amazes me. See, that's the problem that you have just with anything, is when you recommend things and they just don't turn out. So it's, one of the reasons why I don't really like to recommend a lot of things if people ask me. I just like to tell you what I've used and whatnot, as in 100% recommendation. I just don't think I could do that. So today, after I finish this, I think I'm going to just sit off camera and actually work on this Grayscale Mandala off camera. I got this off Etsy. I'll leave the link to it below, because I thought Grayscale Mandala would be something different to colour in. So I'm going to finish this off camera, and then I might post a picture of it at the end, depending on how long it takes me to finish it up. But I'd love to hear what you are doing and what's happening in your world, and if you've seen that Fire movie, what you thought of it. I was just stunned by that movie, that people could take so much money and do that disaster. And some of those poor people that provided the catering and whatnot for Fire, they still haven't been paid. So that's just shocking. I would never not pay somebody. To me, that's just terrible. But anyway, so I think I'm happy with the pink that I selected. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think I got distracted chatting and I was wondering if Millie would make an appearance, and she's decided just to sleep instead. So I had one eye on her for some of these things. She's kind of distracting, sitting there looking at me, looking cute. But, I'm going to finish this up and then I'll post it back at the end of the video. I'd love to hear what you thought of the Fire movie, if you've seen that, and just what you've been doing today. And sometimes each day I don't speak to anybody other than David, and so your comments and reading about what you're doing is just like you're here in real life with me. So I really look forward to reading them. And, sometimes I forget to reply, and there goes my memory problem again. But I always do read them, and I might forget sometimes to reply to them or like them. But please know that I do actually read them, and I really look forward to them. It's something that I really enjoy. Especially since I'm home, basically on my own all the time, except for, Millie and Charlie, who don't tend to talk as much as I'd like, but I talk to them. But even before that, it was always the same. It was just like having a conversation with somebody, even though we're on the other side of computer screens. So I'll be back soon, and I'm going to show you how this turned out, or how it's coming along if I've lost the wheel on it. I'll see you soon. So I ended up finishing it off screen to do them. I did find some of this mandala a little bit tricky because I wasn't sure what some of the things were, to be honest, in the background. Until next time, happy colouring. So I'm going to leave you with a little bit of Millie before we go, a little Millie outtake, and